We are recording today's webinar, so we will post the presentation on our YouTube channel later today. So we're going to go ahead and get started and start back at the beginning. My name is Jill Westphal. I am the Communications Manager here at Hunger Solutions Minnesota, and I'm moderating today's webinar. We're going to get started with a few housekeeping details. The phone lines are muted, so we shouldn't be able to hear you. However, apparently you couldn't hear us. Hopefully we've got that fixed now. If you have a question during the webinar, please be sure to use the chat feature over in the toolbar to ask it, and we'll answer questions at the end of the presentation. Like I said, we are recording the webinar, so it'll be available within 24 hours. So if you have colleagues or friends who want to know more about the Minnesota Food HelpLine and couldn't make it to the webinar today, please be sure to share the recording with them. With that, I'm going to hand it over to our presenters, Abby Tisch and Rachel Holmes. They are the Minnesota Food HelpLine Associates here at Hunger Solutions Minnesota, and they're going to tell you more about the helpline and how it works.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. My name is Rachel Holmes. The helpline was started as a response to the 2009 recession. It was started as a resource for individuals who were experiencing hunger for the very first time. Those who were unfamiliar with the emergency food system were able to call us for help with applying for benefits or to find other resources like food shelves or meal programs. However, even as the economy recovered and more people have found employment, there has been an increasing need for the helpline. The emergency food system is stretched thin, and organizations have to serve more people with fewer resources. The helpline is a great resource for organizations who need an easy way to find resources for their clients. Organizations do great work, but we do know that they can be stretched a little thin. So the helpline is here to be an extension of the work that you are doing. So you'd either be able to call us on behalf of a client, or you could have a client call us themselves. So this is what you get when you call the helpline. Referrals to more resources like food shelves, meal programs, discounted grocery programs. We can also refer to county offices, the EBT service center, and more. We also are program and public benefit experts. So unlike the United Way 211 line, we do only focus on food resources and food programs. So we do know the emergency food resources and the application process inside and out. We also offer a over-the-phone interpreter service, so that allows us to connect callers of all spoken languages to the resources that will best help them. We also have a wide list of resources throughout the state, so we are able to connect callers from all four corners of Minnesota to the resources that will be best. And now we aren't able to access case information directly. We are able to direct callers to the appropriate people for their questions. We are also able to send out release of information forms, which would allow us to dig deeper into some more complex questions with our callers. We also offer a comprehensive bridge to benefit screening, which we will go into in more detail later, but that will screen for other public benefits, not just those food related. So this is kind of how it works. The Minnesota Food HelpLine works to connect callers with emergency food for today, resources to help in the months to come, and then long-term resources that can help with financial stability. So we'll get to a couple of call examples in a minute, but first I'll pass it over to Abby for a quick look at our work by the numbers.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Abby Tisch, and I work on the helpline along with Rachel. So the helpline is a statewide resource. In 2015, we received calls from 84 out of 87 counties in Minnesota. We are working on making sure we get to the 3 we didn't hear from last year through outreach and sending materials to the 3 counties, which include Lake of the Woods County on the northern tip of Minnesota, Wilkin County, and Lac Parle County. If anyone from these 3 counties is listening, please feel free to give us a call, and we would be happy to come up with an outreach plan to make sure those in your community are served. In 2015, the Minnesota Food HelpLine received 6,759 calls, emails, live chat. This equates to 9,791 people served or household members that received assistance from us. For a little more information about how the emails work, those are sent to my email through our online web form on the Hunger Solutions Minnesota website, where folks can leave a little message and either be contacted back by email or by phone. In 2015, calls were up 35% from the year before. This is evidence that despite the strong economy, Minnesotans are still struggling with hunger. We refer people to different resources for food help. Many of our referrals are SNAP related, like to the county office or Apply MN. We also make referrals to food shelves, Fair for All, Farmers Market, NAP, CAP agencies, and Second Harvest Heartland for in-person SNAP application assistance. In the last year and a half, we have experienced a large spike in calls related to the EBT card. Whether it's lost or stolen and a caller needs to order a new one or hasn't received the one they had ordered, we have been referring these callers directly to the EBT Service Center, and more and more. It is somewhat tricky to get through to a live representative at the EBT Service Center, so we have learned how to navigate the needing to put your card number in, which isn't helpful when you've lost a card, because how are you supposed to know what your card number is? And so we are able to transfer the call and get callers into a live representative right away.
Okay, so now let's look at some example phone calls so you can really get a better grasp on the services that we can offer. So let's say, for example, that Viola gave us a call. She is 82 years old and is forced to choose between paying for food or for her medicine. She would call the helpline and we would answer the phone. The first thing that we would ask her is if she would be on SNAP. So let's say Viola says yes, that she gets SNAP, but it's only $16 a month, which is very common for seniors. So she does need a little extra help. We would tell her about the Nutrition Assistance Program for Seniors, NAP, Meals on Wheels. We could also locate a Fair for All site near her and inform her about the Market Bucks program and find a market in her area that participates where she could really stretch those $16 of SNAP. However, if she says, for example, that she's never heard of SNAP, we would ask if she has time for us to do a quick SNAP screening with her. Then we would find out either if she's eligible or not. Let's say she is eligible for SNAP. We would then send her an application packet in the mail or tell her where she can go to apply in person. Most seniors do like us to send them an application packet in the mail. In those packets, we would include a list of any documents needed for the application, as well as a pre-addressed envelope so she knows exactly where she's able to send it to them in the mail. We would also send her information on Market Bucks, the Fair for All sites, Meals on Wheels, or her local food shelf. However, if we do the screening and find out that Viola is not eligible for SNAP, say she's over the income guideline, we would then give her information to those other resources, such as the discounted grocery programs, Meals on Wheels, or her local food shelf.
Okay, so the next example of a caller that we receive on the helpline is Maria. She's 27, lives in Minneapolis, Minnesota, has 2 part-time jobs, 3 kids, and an empty refrigerator. Maria finds out about the helpline through a Google search for help, emails us through a form on our website. In the email, Maria specifies Spanish is her preferred language. We check email messages the next morning. We call Maria back with a Spanish interpreter on the line. During the call, Maria indicates that she is already enrolled in SNAP, but it isn't enough to pay for all of her grocery needs. We then let her know about a fair for all site and a market box farmers market nearby that can help her stretch her SNAP dollars further. With school about to let out for summer, we find a summer meal site near Maria's house for the kids. We also remind Maria of a food shelf in her area and how a food shelf can be a great supplement to SNAP and income for those times of the month when things are tight. The Spanish interpreter is connected through a language line with any language available for over-the-phone interpretation. This is a tool that is invaluable to Minnesota Food HelpLine and making sure all callers receive information accurately and efficiently, especially in emergency situations when clients are in dire need.
Let's take a look at another example of Eric, who is 52 from Thief River Falls, Minnesota. He was hurt on the job, he can't work anymore, and his bills are now piling up. When he was at the unemployment office, he saw a flyer for the Minnesota Food HelpLine, so he called us for more information. He claims that he wants to know everything that he may be eligible for. In those circumstances, we provide Eric with an overview of programs that may help him in his situation, and we tell him about the ability to do a bridge to benefits screening used to determine his eligibility for many different programs. Bridge to Benefits is a screening tool that was created by the Children's Defense Fund. It's a quick and easy way to determine if a family or an individual would qualify for these following programs: the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, Medical Assistance and Other Minnesota Healthcare Program, Women, Infants, and Children Program, WIC, Energy Assistance Program, the School Meal Program, Child Care Assistance Program, the Earned Income Tax Credit, as well as the Working Family Tax Credit and the Advanced Premium Tax Credit. What's also really nice about the Bridge to Benefits screening tool is that there's detailed information about all of these programs that you can screen someone for, and as well as detailed information about how to apply for the programs in all 87 of Minnesota's counties and how to receive assistance with the application and enrollment process. So with the screening tool, agencies like us, like the Minnesota Food HelpLine, are able to send referrals to specialists for programs at the end of the client screening. So Eric would then have the option to either apply on his own with the information given to him over the phone, or to have specialists from each program contact Eric to set up a time to work on the application with him. He confirms that he would like to do the Bridge to Benefits screening, so we go ahead and do that. With the screening, we find out that Eric would be eligible for SNAP, medical assistance, energy assistance, and the Earned Income Tax Credit. We then provided Eric with his personalized application plan off of Bridge to Benefits with information on how to apply for the programs he qualifies for, and we also locate a food shelf in his area.
So a little bit about who refers to the helpline. Meal programs like Loaves and Fishes and other on-site meal programs where folks can receive a hot meal at no cost. Backpack programs refer to us with a little flyer about the helpline and SNAP. And also clinics evaluate the needs of clients to determine if someone is food insecure and then sends a referral to the helpline through fax for more assistance. The Minnesota Food HelpLine can answer calls in just about any language with the help of an over-the-phone interpreter service. We use the interpreter to help callers, but it is also available to community agencies and food shelves who have a client who speaks a language they don't have materials or interpreters for. For example, if you have English and Spanish speaking staff and volunteers, but someone comes in who only speaks Russian, you can call the helpline and we'll connect the call with the Russian interpreter. It's free of charge to community agencies and food shelves. Client feedback. The helpline fields complaint calls from individuals all the time. We don't act on every complaint, but we do monitor the complaints we receive for trends, and we know sometimes a caller just needs to feel listened to or needs a little more context for why a decision was made about their SNAP case, or why the food shelf on the other side of town won't serve them, and we are happy to provide a listening ear. We also know that sometimes a cranky client can derail your entire day. You can feel free to give them our number to complain if that helps you de-escalate a tough in-person situation. We also like to make sure that clients know they can appeal their SNAP case if something goes wrong. Also, SNAP case questions. Sometimes the client has their application denied or their benefits cut without a clear reason. The helpline can help navigate the process and check and see what happened with their case. We get a release of information form signed by the client and can work with the county or DHS to review the file and figure out what happened and either correct the problem with their case or help explain to them what happened.
Another great resource that the Minnesota Helpline offers to you all is our free outreach materials. Hunger Solution has new outreach materials available starting this fall, and you can order them at the website listed there, hungersolutions.org/order. If there are any particular products that you're looking for, feel free to let us know. We aren't able to guarantee that we'll have it or be able to make it right away, but it really does help us to know which materials would be best for you all and your SNAP outreach efforts, and we will try our best to get those out for you. Later this fall, we'll also be printing our stuffer-size flyers in Spanish, Somali, and Hmong. Another thing to mention is our Minnesota Food Help Map. This is located on our website, and this is what me and Abby use to connect all of our callers to the resources. It's, only as good as the information that we have. So food shelves move and meal programs, they add sites. Farmers markets, they can change their hours, and it's really hard for us to keep track of all of it. So if you have an update for the Food Help Map, please let us know. You can either email us or call the helpline, and we will get those changes updated for you. You can find that Food Help Map at hungersolutions.org/map. So if you have any other questions about anything that the helpline can offer, or if you need our number to refer to a client, it is 1-888-711-1151. You can also reach us by email at minnesotafoodhelpline@hungersolutions.org. You can also reach us on our live chat option available on our website. Live chat operates Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. So feel free to reach out to us that way as well. If you'd like to contact either Abby or I directly, we've got our emails and our numbers listed here. You can reach Abby at atish@hungersolutions.org. Phone number is 651-789-9848. Or you can reach me, Rachel Holmes, at rholmes@hungersolutions.org at 651-789-9847.
All right, thank you, Abby and Rachel. We've got a few minutes left before we end the presentation, so if you have any questions, please be sure to enter those into the chat box on the GoToWebinar system. It should be over in the toolbar on the right-hand side, somewhere toward the bottom. All right, apparently we don't have any questions. If something comes up, if you guys think of something that you need to know, again, you can reach out to Abby or Rachel directly. And I'm going to pull back up the helpline phone number again. You can always reach us at 1-888-711-1151. Be sure to give them a call anytime you have a question or need to refer a client to us. So thank you very much for attending today's webinar. Once again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and ask. Bye.